Me too. I hate it though.
Good morning, everyone.
Ain't gonna lie.
Welcome to another session of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. This is our regular session, so we'll be at liberty today to discuss whatever is on the agenda, plus anything else that are on citizens' minds. So a little bit different than our last court meeting, which was a special call. But glad to see everyone here today. Our normal routine is to have a moment of silence, and then Mr. Strunk, I've asked him to lead us in the pledge. But anyone have any prior request, or any thoughts?
My grandma Regina Owen passed away last night, so
Okay.
remember our
Jason,
family.
Yeah, remember Jason's family. His grandmother passed away last night. Any others? With that, then, if everyone would please bow your head. Have a moment of silence. Thank you. Everyone, please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business this morning would be to approve the minutes from our January 28th regular session meeting. I think you have a copy in front of you. Take a look at those for a moment. If you see any additions or changes that need to be put on it.
motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Strunk to approve the minutes from January 28th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Renshaw. Any comments or questions, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries. Also, we didn't get on the agenda, but I need to approve the special call meeting of last week, with the minutes of that. I think we have a copy of those in front of you also. And I need to approve those meetings from the special call meeting of February the 4th.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. In new business, we have someone going to present for permission to bid for a brush truck for Dabney Fire. Doug, would you do that?
Morning.
Morning.
Dabney Fire Department purchased a new brush truck / first response vehicle. And as I understand it, we need to go through fiscal court to start the bidding process. I'd like permission to do that.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion? I understand this is to be paid out of Dabney funds.
This will be a new truck too. I
Okay.
think on what you all have, it doesn't specify new, but it will be a new truck. We found some leftover 23s that was
Okay.
a little less expensive, so.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Next item would be department reports. First up would be our jailer, Mr.
I'm not him, but I
Anthony.
hope I'll do.
Skip, go ahead.
We're purchasing some mats out of commissary. Doesn't cost the county anything. We're getting low. Had a few stolen by the homeless, so we're purchasing them out of commissary. Just need your all's permission.
Is that what was on the bill list?
No,
Okay, so that's additional on that.
yes.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw to purchase mats for the jail. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Thank you.
Next report would be your Sheriff Bobby Jones.
Good morning. First thing that was on the agenda was for the awards. I did not get the certificates and everything ordered, so I'll do that at next fiscal court. We'll have some awards to give out some of the deputies for some of the outstanding achievements that they've accomplished, life-saving and stuff. So I apologize for that. But as I promised the public, if I become sheriff, that I would be transparent. One thing that I learned about transparency is a lot of people don't want to hear it. It's not always positive. Transparency isn't always being positive. So I want to talk about the state of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, just some things that's come to my attention. It's ever-changing. Asked me 2 or 3 weeks ago, this wouldn't have been the situation, but today it is. It's kind of like the storm warning. We was on a watch, and it might go into a warning status, saying, hey, this is coming. Same way with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. We're not to the warning status yet, but I'm just going to kind of read this because it is quite long, and I just want to get some bullet points. If y'all have any questions, I got an open door policy. You're welcome to ask me. But I have spoken to 8 different deputies in the last 2 weeks of their intentions of leaving. Some of the agencies are considering getting out of law enforcement completely. Some are looking to go to other agencies that pay more, mostly due to pay and insurance, is what they're stating to me. You're free to talk to them yourself, but right now I don't have, but anyway, let me stay on topic. So I'm also looking to replace 2 deputies that have told me they are retiring in 2025. They've expressed that they would, one of them, the sergeants expressed that he would stay if the pay and insurance was better, but unfortunately it's what it is, and he's got to go. It takes almost 1 year to be able to hire someone to work independently on their own after they're hired. For an example, the last hire we had, well, actually the hire before, we did hire one earlier this week. So I got some good news in this too. We did hire one earlier this week that was our Academy certified, so he'll go through the FTO program and be able to get turned loose. But the last one I hired to go to the Academy, I hired January the 6th. He don't get into the Academy till the end of March. He'll be out of the Academy in mid-September. He'll go through the 16-week FTO program, so sometime in December. So I just want the public to know that for a deputy to get the road, it takes almost a year. The Pulaski County Board of Education has elected to take over their school resource officer program. They paid for them anyway, so it's not a budgeting issue for me. But from what I've been told, straight from the Board of Education, is their salary is going to be more than their deputy salary. I don't know what the retention on the Pulaski County Sheriff's deputies will be. If some of them will want to entertain that and go over there, I don't know. But some of them may be looking to that. Our start pay for the new deputy is $18.25 an hour. $18.25. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is not in the business of making money. We do have some fees and commission, but not near enough to pay for salaries, vehicles, and equipment for this large of a county. As comparing Pulaski County to surrounding counties, I have looked at those numbers. The amount of people and calls at Pulaski County is a lot more than surrounding counties. Only one that's even close to us is Laurel County. And from what I've been told, as the last time I've been told, Laurel County has 12 KSP troopers handling that county, where we have 2 in Pulaski County. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is the primary law enforcement for Pulaski County. We also cover Burnside, Ferguson, Science Hill, and Eubank when they do not have officers out. I need to hire someone to assist us on writs, execution, and serving civil papers. Because the county's growing, those are increasing as well. I also need a 3rd person to help us out in the finance/tax office. It's been with 2 people in the tax office since the 90s. Ever since I've worked here, we've only had 2 people in the tax office. There's more paperwork added on, as everybody knows. Every job has more paperwork. So I'm also looking to hire a 3rd person in that situation as well. When sickness is going on like it is right now, that hits the sheriff's office very hard. It's hard for us to cover calls for service. We don't want to have it where we have one deputy out there working the road and without backup. So we try to manipulate. We have to change people's schedules, which also affects their lives as well. Also, the amount of training that the deputies are required to have is also increased. Used to be just 40 hours a week. Now it's 40 hours a week plus. They've added numerous different classes that we are required by law to take, additional to the 40 hours a week. With vacations, holidays, comp time, sick time, and training, it makes it hard to fill the weekly schedule 24/7, 365 days a week. I am still working towards the goal of having 2 deputies in each district. That's my ultimate goal. North, east, south, and west, have 2 deputies in those areas at the majority of the time. I'm still looking for more pay for the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. I'm very proud of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. This includes the clerks, the finance department, the command staff, the patrol investigations, the detectives, patrol, investigative detectives, narcotic detectives, court security deputies, transport deputies, evidence, and school resource officers. A lot of people doesn't understand that the sheriff's office is comprised of a large group of people. I say all this to say that we're okay right now, but things could change quickly if several leave us at a certain time. I'm currently working toward hiring, replacing those that are already saying they're leaving. I anticipate the money from fiscal. I appreciate the money the fiscal court has already given, and understand the county as a whole has to work within their budget. I'm not asking for money at this time. What I'm asking for is people just to look into it, to look outside the box and see where we can maybe create some more money for the hard-working employees of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, and that retention would no longer become an issue. Does anybody have any questions about what I've read? I know it's a lot. And like I said, if you don't, that's fine. I have an open door policy. I've already met with the treasurer and the judge about these issues. I don't mind to meet with each one of you all privately, independently, if y'all want to come and talk to me about some of these issues. I'm just looking at a retention problem. I'm rattling on now, but what I want to say is I'm very concerned. If we was to lose 8 deputies at a time, then what we would have to do is go to non-essential calls or non-24-hour service. I don't want that to happen. The cavalry's not coming. I've reached out to state police. I'm trying to get some more state troopers in here. I'm not one of them that's trying to push them out, but at the end of the day, that's where we're at.
Sheriff, you mentioned pay and insurance. Elaborate a little bit on the insurance side of, your deputies or people that potentially might be leaving, are they finding better insurance? It's health insurance, I'm sure.
A lot of it
Somewhere
is
else?
insurance. I tell you what's happening to an extent is I'm hiring these young deputies, and these young deputies are gung-ho, ready to go, ready to get in law enforcement because that's what their passion is, that's what they want to do. They are developing families, they're getting married, they're having families, and they're looking at their future. This is coming straight from them. And now they don't know if they can sustain that or not. The insurance is a lot of the problem. It really is, because they having to pay the family insurance is not. God bless me, I fell under Tier 1. I was hired prior to that. So, but anybody falling in after that, which is some people that would have to, that are retiring now, do not have their full family insurance paid. So they have to go out and so that is what a lot of them are expressing to me. Several of them are looking at positions of, like I said, a couple of these are even looking at getting out of law enforcement completely. Things that I can't control.
As far as insurance, I'd looked at all that with the family side of that insurance.
Sure.
And it's just not, we pay 100% of the employee's insurance and with only a $2,000 deductible.
Yeah.
And it's costing us $1,200 a month for each employee. Am I right on that? Right, like $1,200
Right. Oh, I
each month
understand.
for
I'm
every
not-
employee.
I get it.
And it's just, it doesn't. I mean, trust me. My wife is on. I'm paying for my wife's insurance through here, and I'm still paying $1,200 more a month for her. So I understand what these guys are going through.
Right.
it's tough and.
It's an offset, so you got the insurance, but if not, then like I say, a substantial raise, and like I said, I don't know where that money's come from, that's the reason like I said, I've got, I read that, I thought I put that in there, that I've got, I may not have said that last line in their speech, I've actually got my chief deputy, I don't have them, actually, they're doing it themselves, going above and beyond. My finance officer and my chief deputy are looking outside the box, because we are fee-based. It is what it is. We're only, by law, we can only get so much money for commissions and fees and stuff that we do. And that's the max we can get on them, which is not a sustained. So like I said, I do appreciate fiscal court, because without y'all's help, we would have to go back to just taking care of the courts and the public would suffer. So I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. But at the end of the day, to sustain this retention problem that I'm having with people leaving, we need to, and they deserve it. I'm telling you right now, Bobby Jones had it in the budget to double every single employee's. I would do it in a heartbeat, because I think they deserve it.
And
That's just me.
if we had the money, we would do it
We'd
too.
do it too.
I get
But,
that's,
I
I
mean,
get that. I understand
the
that.
one thing in the last 2 years that I feel has been a great support with our new treasurer and our new judge, we have stripped this budget. There's no, I look at this bill list every 2 weeks, and she'll tell you, I'm calling her every time with questions.
Sure.
I look at this budget every month, and it's, I looked at it again this morning. We're paying the sheriff's department 15% of our general fund money now, and it's like 14.79%. That's a lot when we're dealing with 26 areas in our budget that are mandated by the state. The only way to increase revenue is we would have to increase taxes. And we would need the support of the citizens of the county to do that.
I get that, and I will and you open the box, so I will say it. And it may be because I am the sitting sheriff and the actual people that I'm in contact with, which is my church and my family, my friends, and everybody. When I go to the Rotary clubs, I will say that 100% of the people I talk to are willing to give more for the safety of Pulaski County.
And if we did, I mean, the only area we could raise revenue is property taxes, which there's a lot of people that thinks if we raise property taxes it's unfair because the property owners are paying, and then the ones that don't own properties aren't paying. And then we can only generate about an additional $100,000 a year.
Maybe. But I'm saying think outside the box, and we're doing that. And this may be a little early for this. I'm just saying this today for a couple of reasons. One,
Right.
transparency, just let the people know that I'll be honest with you, if I'd had this same exact, if I'd been on this podium 3 weeks ago today, I'd been feeling good, because we're actually one shy of, so here's the positive side of it. We're one shy of being fully staffed. We've got one more position to have. But that's without the two that I know is leaving, retiring, and the others that's talking about. But so I'm up here. I'm feeling good about the sheriff's office. And then all of a sudden I have literally 8 independent deputies talking about going out, leaving. And then with the school paying a lot more than we can pay, and I'm not saying the school's recruiting from us. I don't know, but we'll find out in the near future. If I just know that they're going to be paying more. I don't know if they'll have any openings at all. They may take the school resource officer they got, put them right straight in. Never be a problem.
With what the situation we have in our budget, our budget is in a lot better shape than it was 2 years ago. And everybody know I used to not vote for the bill list because of the excess stuff. But what Marshall's done and what Chris has done, and with the help of the magistrates, it's streamlined.
Right.
I mean, I don't see any wasteful spending, and I invite anybody to come in and look at
Sure.
our books. I don't see any wasteful spending that used to happen.
Yeah.
But
Well, don't think I come up here accusing
Oh,
you
no,
of
no,
wasteful spending,
no.
because I promise you it's not my intention. My
know that.
intention is
We
just-
know
but, but we have increases every year. Health insurance went up 6%. Was it 6% this year?
Actually, 4, Mark.
Huh?
4.
4. And then the increase in blacktop money. We're down. Most of the magistrates are here down to 2.5 miles of blacktop a year
Right.
for 300 miles of road. I mean,
Get it.
there's a lot that we're falling behind on,
Yeah.
and I don't know
It's just my job to
where
tell
the
you.
revenue's going to come from. I don't know where the revenue's going to come from.
And I get, that's the reason I said, honestly,
Yeah.
that's the reason I said I don't either. I would come up here with suggestions and say, here's what y'all need to do. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, let's think outside the box. I do have some things going on, and I've got a Kentucky, called Jerry Wagger with Kentucky Sheriff Association to see if things can be implemented and done, because I'm trying to think outside the box as well. But I'm just, right now, I'm just letting you know that the reason. And you're all free to talk to. I'll give you the name, not in public, but I'll give you the names. You're all welcome to talk to them independently. But I mean, that's just telling you that's the reason they're telling me is money and insurance is the reason that they want to move on.
And
like I
we
explained to the
wish
judge-
we can do all of it.
Yeah, I understand, but I think it's a situation where you hire them in young, and then they get little age on them, and they start having family and start looking at their future, and they're like, hey, they got to sustain, they got to live too. They got to buy these $10 eggs. That's what same as we do. So,
Yeah.
okay.
But we appreciate everything they do. I mean, I'll tell you this story that I was on a fire scene. I guess your sheriff's office got there before I did, and I found one of them hosing down the house one day. So, I mean, that was a great job they did until we were able to get there and get our.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they go above and beyond, and
I think they do. I mean, I think they do, and they do it for the love of the job. When I came in 27 years ago, I came in for the love of the job. I took a major pay cut, so I understand that they understand. But when you're talking about working nights and weekends and being away from your family and working in this. Out here right now, they're getting calls out here today and have to get out in this weather. We got a writ tomorrow that we're not really looking forward to because it's going to be it's going to be a muddy mess. But we got to do it. Is what it is. We're not looking forward to it, but we got to do it. So, but anyway.
well, thank you for your update.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Let
Yes,
me
sir.
ask you,
Yes, sir.
I know we talked about it in my office a couple of weeks ago. How many SRO people do you have at the schools that you probably could lose to the school when they do their own police department?
There's 13 schools. I never did get, Eubank was one that we had the deputies go fill out. So I had 12 SROs is what I'm losing, 12 SROs is what I'm losing to them. Now, the last I've heard is they're going to retain the SROs. I don't know what their intentions are, but I don't know the answer, but there's 12 positions, school resource officers that currently work for me. At the end of May or June, they'll be now signed over to the Board of Education.
Will you pick any of those up for the summer months when they're not in school?
No, they will not be working for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
So,
I think normally in the past you would get some of those to work summertime when they were released from school.
In years past, we have utilized those for the summer months, which is obviously our busiest time, and we've utilized them. One of the deputies that's retiring is a school resource officer, so we're losing that for the summer as well because he was the only one that was a full-time employee for us. He kind of grandfathered in. He started back when school resource officer, so he'll be retiring. Intentions of retiring this year. And he will, but he'll no longer be available for us at through the summer months. That's the bad thing. But there's also the positive side of it because now his position and salary, we do gain that one. So I want to put light at the end of the tunnel. So we get that position to hire a deputy to put on the road that will now be working not just in the summer months, but will be helping us out all year long.
You mentioned you were one person short of being fully staffed. What is that number that you would need to consider fully staffed? Do you know how many you got?
I've got, as far as patrol deputies broke down, I don't have that in front of me. I know I got 72 employees. With losing the 12, I'm going to be down to 60 employees. That's counting courts, the list I just gave you, court security, clerks, detectives, command. That's counting everybody. It's a staff of 60.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Make sure.
Can you
Thank you
hang
very
around
much.
after the meeting for you and I to chat?
Yes, sir.
About what you'd call me about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Next up will be our animal control, Mr. Adams.
Good morning, everyone. I need to ask permission to hire Daniel Courtney for a vacancy at the animal shelter.
A motion to hire.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye.
What was his last name?
Daniel Courtney.
When was you wanting him to start?
Probably start Monday, because I think that's when our payroll ends and starts on next Monday.
We got a vote on that or not? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
So, next to be our road department, Mr. Wayne. We didn't have speed limits on this.
Morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
I'd like to ask for 3,000 ton of rock.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and a second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
And then I'd like to ask for approval of the road list.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Strunk on the road list and a second by Mr. Ranshaw. Any discussion on the road list?
I wanted to say something. I appreciate what the road department's doing out there. Our roads, and it's made note by the number of roads on my list that the winter months has really taken a beating on our roads. And you guys have been out here trying to do what they can to keep everything patched up, and we've been dealing with flood issues and everything else, and some roads are just washed out. So I appreciate what all the road department's doing out there. They're probably out there today in the pouring rain working on roads.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you very much for what you're doing and what the road department's doing for us out here. And the roads are getting worse and worse, and it's going to take months probably to get it back to the shape before it was before winter started. So just asking everybody to be patient with the road department, because it's a lot of work that's got to get done.
Thank you.
All in favor of approving the road list, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Wayne. Treasurer's report, Ms. Carissa.
I'm needing approval for a $2,000 fund transfer from the general fund to fire.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then I'm also looking for approval of the February bill list.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw to approve bill list.
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? And that motion passes. Is there any other business to come before the court? Our next item would be citizens' comments. Are there any citizens in the audience that would like to speak? Being none, we will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, and be the second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Strong. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.